Hi Pisces, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2016, and this is Diana reporting to you from a snug little camper van parked somewhere on mainland Europe. And the sea's just over there, so that's nice. It's nice to be hear the sea, be near the sea. So for Pisces, well, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and that's to speak about a planet which has been in the background for several years now, and which has been sort of quietly helping you, I think, in the background. It's in a very good angle to your sun sign, and this is Pluto. So before I get on to the regular stuff, I just want to mention Pluto. Pluto came into Capricorn in 2008 and will stay there until 2024. So that comes across to your sign at a really helpful angle and will play out in your circle of friends, or within a group or organization, or various ones, because it is such a long transit. So maybe you will be you will be graduating through different sort of layers and levels of this. Your life could be changed radically through new friends, or a group of like-minded others that you're part of, or even that you create yourself. But also you can feel that old friendships and old relationships no longer have the relevance, and they're outdated, they're outmoded, and just kind of sort of dissolve away, you know. So Pluto can become fixated on something, and that's when we get fanatics and radicalization using aggressive means to change people's minds. But as long as you don't go over the top, you can be successful working with the interests, beliefs, or dreams common to your social circle. And I put that in because it really is the lower level, on the lower levels of the Pluto action. However, I did put that in, even though it is a very positive, helpful angle to your sun sign, because you might cross paths with people like that, or someone like that. And they can be very sneaky and snake-like. Pluto rules snakes. So just thought I'd put it in so you could just be aware of that, you know, and you then are forewarned, are you not? So your willpower, now this is a thing about this angle of Pluto for you, it's going to really support your willpower, and it's very strong in this area of friendships, groups, but also technology, science, anything to do with the internet, anything to do with organizations that you might work for, anything to do with anything at the cutting edge. So that might be on the materialistic level, which is information technology and all of the technology that we've got wall to wall nowadays, or it could be something a little bit on another level, which is regarding any other area of life, which is even more fringe, even more cutting edge. So we're not going down the path of robotics and, you know, getting even cleverer and cleverer phones who will just run our lives for us. But it's and then we get pushed around by the providers and told what to do. But this is where you are really right on the pioneering cutting edge, and there is never a crowd on the cutting edge. So it can be that you, as you get more insight into things, because Pluto is the planet of getting insight and getting to the truth of your situation, and therefore hitting your power when you get to your truth. Something really alternative, or on the fringe in some way, which is not mainstream, but of course you've got to check it out and do it, you know, run all the normal checks to find out whether it's sound and whether it's suitable for you, and then go for it, because Pluto in this area here can absolutely catapult you into a very progressive phase in your life, and you know, it needs somebody to walk. It needs some of us to walk the path first in order for others to come behind to feel safe to walk that same path. So it's a little bit like that. a little bit experimental, because this area that Pluto's in loves experimentation. It also loves humanitarianism, anything along those lines, working for a good cause or being involved in a good cause, which maybe has got trodden underfoot by the sort of the money making, you know, the race helter skelter to make more and more and more and more money out of sometimes people's misery. Or you know, convincing them that they need certain things materialistically in their life, which they can do absolutely fine without. So anyway, that's me beginning to go off on a tangent. So I just want to say, cutting edge humanitarian, something which can serve a common cause, perhaps, during this transit. So that's kind of up your street in a way, Pisces. Socially, this transit will help you to learn to conduct yourself in a manner which shows self-mastery, self-control. Personal control, at the same time as influencing the understanding of others. So you flip that around, and it can mean that the trends, a fashion, a trend, it might feel as though it's pushing you and controlling you, or certain friends' expectations or opinions might feel like it's pushing you and controlling you. So you've got to get round that round the other way. So that you aren't trying to control and dominate others, you are just looking for self-mastery, self-control, and happiness, of course. Then you start to radiate more strongly, and you start to influence the understanding of others, because you know, you don't have agendas, you don't have issues where you are blaming others or complaining. You know, you're just contained in your own strength. And don't allow the group needs to consume you, so you forget your own unique part to play. So if you feel as though the needs of a group are pushing you around, you have to strive to be in the group but not of the group. So you have to kind of pull back and get some space and observe, and then you get a whole new perspective on it. You get outside of what the involvement in the group was about, and then it can be quite interesting to kind of look in at it and maintain your own standpoint and style. Okay, so as your hopes and dreams change, old friends and allegiances will slip away and new ones take their place, ones which are more meaningful to you at this stage in your life and at this level of your awareness and your consciousness. Pluto is about finding your personal power, and as this transit unfolds, you will find that power through cooperative activities, friendships, groups, more authentic friendships, more authentic groups for you, and the influence Pluto bestows upon you can be channeled into changing the world for the better. So that's just some words about Pluto, which I don't usually bring into the monthly stars. Now, what about the rest of the month? Well, we've got, of course, the Sun at the moment is in a very sociable area for you. It's to do with meeting, greeting, mixing, mingling, connecting with others, having, you know, the mind very busy, learning stuff, information exchange. Mercury's there as well, chatty, you know, paperwork perhaps, or just other sorts of correspondence over the wires, and a great time for listening, sourcing what you need, and as I say, making connections. Venus is there as well, so it's a very sociable time. You can hear nice things, you can feel supported, and friendship coming from others. Others can feel support and friendship coming from you. You can be more articulate in your speaking, more fluent in how you come across, more persuasive in how you come across. So it's a good time to settle you know, disharmony or you know, feuds, buying, selling, renting, leasing, any kind of sort of commercial buying and selling could go well at this time. And then the Sun and Venus both move out of there and go into the root of your chart. A really nice vibe at the roots of your life, the HQ, or maybe you are away from home, but you just like your environment, you like what's going on, you feel, again, that intimacy, that harmony coming there. It might be to do with family. It might be to do with family members, it might be to do with extended family or tribe, but again, this more friendly vibe going on there. And it's a nice time to beautify your environment. Just you could find that your environment is more beautiful and you like where you are, or you could find that you just get the urge to sort of, you know, embellish the place a bit, and that will be inside or outside. Or maybe bringing the beauties of the outside into the inside, especially us in the Northern Hemisphere, with all the new flowers coming out as our spring really picks up speed. Now we have Mercury is retrograde up until the 22nd, which means that there can be hold-ups, delays, having to rethink plans. Might be to do with travel, might not. Might be to do with transport, might be to do with information technology, equipment for that. Might be anything really, but you're sort of hanging fire, waiting for something to come back to you so you know what to do to go forwards, that kind of thing. Then Mars is also retrograde as well, which kind of blunts the sharpness of Mars. This is a period for putting physical effort into achieving certain goals. Mars is at the top of your chart just now until the 28th, so really putting that drive and that passion, and Mars giving you that stamina to push forwards, to get the ball rolling, do whatever you need to do with image or reputation, or meeting up with authority figures and officials and bureaucracy in the wider world, and making the good impression that you want to make, or the impression that you want to make, whether it's good or not. Mars could just inspire you to take more responsibility about your direction in life, in the wider world at the moment, and having to cross paths with the powers that be, and maybe feeling frustrated with them at times. Again, if you have to launch a major offensive in any way or throw down the gauntlet, perhaps not the best time to do it with Mars in this position here. The best way to do that is by stealth, indirectly, obliquely, strategically. So you're still, you know, gathering speed and making the plans, but you're keeping your powder dry for the major offensive. So small battles, fine. Major offensive, you've got to wait for a bit, and that'll be about a certain goal or target that you have in your life. All right, it doesn't necessarily have to be career orientated, it can be in your personal life. Okay, and then we have Mars moving out of there on the 28th into a very expansive area, be there for quite a while, where you're learning a lot, and it's quite an enterprising area, and it's a journey of discovery, but more on that one later. Now, that's when we get to it. Saturn has returned to the top of your chart. It's quite an important Saturn transit for you guys, coming from another mutable sign, Sagittarius. But look back 7 years ago, and then say, okay, this is the time of the harvesting of that. It might be 7 years ago, it might even be, if you look back in groups of 7, so go back 14, or go back 28 years previous, 28, 29 years. And this is a time for you to take more responsibility about where you're going in life, maybe redefining your place in the world, having to jump through a few hoops, but you will get there. This is the time of harvesting what's gone before. This is the time of reaping what you've sown from before, or what has been sown, but really it's what you've sown from before. And you may feel that you are not doing the work, or projecting the image, or just not getting the satisfaction out of what you're doing in the world, for the job, or just in your daily life. There's not the quality there that you'd like, and so this is the time that you've got to really get real, and be realistic about how you can redefine things, how you can change things, and how you can build the new structures, and then keep working at building those new structures. I don't think I mentioned to you, just suddenly popped into my head, where Pluto is mostly affecting at the moment. So Pluto is mostly affecting 16 to 18 degrees of Pisces rising, and that'll be the first week of March for you guys born there. Now, Pisceans for Saturn, Pisceans born the 2nd to the 6th of March, so again the first week, or 12 to 16 degrees rising, you're going to feel that energy the most at the moment. Jupiter is opening, is in the opposite sign, opening a wider range of options via close personal. You'll learn a lot from somebody. You're likely to be working one-to-one more, or somebody comes into your life who's significant, who's important, and who you can learn a huge amount from. They've got a very different slant on things, a very different knowledge base to you, and it's fascinating, it's intriguing. So, you know, you will be hooked, but they will be really interested in your take on what's your experience has been, where you've come from, how you've got here from the journey that you've been on. So, it's going to be because of key close relationships that your horizons are going to broaden. You're going to learn a huge amount, and abundance and huge potential could be coming to you through that. Yeah, so that looks interesting. Pisceans born the 2nd to the 5th of March, or with 12 to 15 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this forecast period. It has to be a two-way street. I'm not talking about putting somebody on a pedestal and you being the victim, or the sort of, you know, the kind of the downfallen that they have to save. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about equality here, all right? So they are as equally interested in your journey and how you came to be, and learn and be the person you are as you are. So somebody significant could come into your life, either on a working level or romantically. And I have to say, even when Jupiter moves in September, that's still very likely the case. Neptune is in your sign for many years. So during this long transit of Neptune, you know, the Neptune or the Pisces side will come out more strongly, I guess. So the victim savior, the martyr, the redeemer, and you could be called upon to bring out any of those sides. But if I were you, I'd try to go for the side where you are respecting your own mission, your own path, your own walk on this planet, and enough to care enough about putting energy into yourself and making sure those boundaries are there. Yes, there's still love, there's still compassion, there's still support for others, but making sure that you are keeping your own house in order as well. And if the universe has to kick you hard by bringing something to your door, which then gets your attention on yourself, the universe will do it. Anyway, so all will be well if you make those stronger boundaries and integrate your own wishes into you know, why you feel you're here for others in this world, and then you will just start to build up that power, build up that amazing strength, which then by default will help others. Pisceans born the 1st to the 2nd of March, or with 11 to 12 degrees rising, will feel the energy most this month, and that's it. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to those. This is written up on my website, DianaGarland.com, if you want to check up on anything. And I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time.